And hello everybody, my name is Ty, I'm your pop punk bud, and today we're going to be playing some Wildermyth. I have not recorded anything in a while, and so I figured something that would be kind of fun and story, based, plus also something that I can just kind of play casually would be, maybe a good idea. So without further ado, I'll start to kind of introduce how this game works, and if you haven't heard about it, would definitely recommend. It's a lot of fun, and I like character development. I like more tile-based movements and stuff like that. So I created a new account just to go ahead and play this. So we're going to start off with the tutorial. And yeah, for right now, I'm just going to start off in just standard difficulty, not do anything too crazy. So let's begin. And so one of the first things that I really enjoy is you've got kind of different, you got like your classic, RPG, different classes. You can do all sorts of different stuff with, setting up characters, gender, body type, voice, so on and so forth. There's also all sorts of different, customization options and stuff like that. The first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and randomize everyone. Because I'll be honest, I don't fully even know what the little, I guess, subtitle what actually does for changing stacks. Not stacks, stats for everyone. So I figured just get at least some sort of, yeah, everyone's kind of unique on their own right. And yeah, so we're gonna go and just start with everything basic and jump right on in. I was like, and this is one of my favorite things about this game is just all of the story elements and stuff like that, and it does a good job of just kind of giving you something interesting to look forward to every time you play. This book, there's room in it for another story. It's cold, I'm stuck here. Live or die, what I've seen could help someone else. Maybe they'll find the book and my bones? I hope so. Right, then this is the beginning. Here in our yondering country, something in the woods is very strange. I love the graphics and the style that they went through and how it's kind of consistent across everything too. Tugged along by the gentle desire to see friends, a young woman named Esri takes the seasonal road to the town of Helmwaen. I wonder how many of these soft-glancing townsmen remember me. Well, I guess I'll have to do something memorable this time. Breeze is light that day, birds are timid. In fact, the whole world is taking a breath, ready to leap in the sea. I'm there already, huh? Here's the hard part, getting Gulia out of bed. Gulia? Julia? I don't know. Or worse, if I have to dislodge her from the book, or... That's... smoke? Fluttering flames roost among the far-off rooftops. Esri hurries towards them, thinking of Julia, a young woman whom she's known since girlhood. She dies without paying me back. And so another thing is you can kind of have your main party all either be, rivals, friends, or lovers, and that obviously depends on... It changes how they interact with each other in the future, which I also really like because it gives you the ability to just kind of change things up. And so let's go with, I just love she must have tried to cook breakfast again. So friendship. Julia, you alright? I'll let you out, just make a little noise. I'll get you out. Apparently reading is not my strong suit. So this is kind of like a standard for how a lot of these tile-based games work. You get 2 actions and you can move, within the tiles. Green is 1 action, yellow is 2. Obviously, oh, I'm stupid. Not me immediately just being like, ah, I don't need to pay attention to what the objectives are. I've done this before when I very clearly need to. Her house is still standing, at least. Julia, fire out here. You're not sleeping, are you? She doesn't know. Why is no one? The door unlocks. Julia shoves it open. Hey, do you not smell that? I smell the smoke inside. Yeah, your bow. Yeah, my bow. The blaze is secondary. It's Doom's detail. I heard of these hideous, afflicted-looking beasts. They stampeded in. I managed to trap one behind the house. Small victory. Staying in here isn't really an option. Right, so here, I've got some tools around. You're stronger than I am. You can swing something pretty good. Bet we can at least drive it off. And then also another little nice detail is I like that it gives you the option from the get-go, you know, what kind of weapon you want to use, as this is our warrior. I like the pitchfork because I like having the range. It can be killed, right? If we're steady and methodical, we can manage it. Thing can't be invincible, just don't take any dumb risks. And then they introduce the UFO card, so it lets you know like what kind of enemies you'll face, and over time we'll start to see different advancements and they'll get a little bit more difficult to deal with and so on and so forth. But this is a row. Hooves thrown softly around beneath it. It runs staggering, bellowing its agony. So we're going to go ahead and open the door. And obviously you can kind of just tap between characters, and before we do the whole moving out thing, I'm just going to wait. Let it come to us. And so if you got, you know, your buddies standing by each other, they'll actually they'll actually help keep each other safe and, you know, protected from damage. And yeah, we'll go ahead and just, oh. Ah, okay. So you obviously also have cover mechanics, which can make it harder or easier for the real question is, can I rotate? I'm sure it'll let me know how to rotate camera if I can or not. But and then obviously, depending upon their contribution to the battle and whatnot, they'll actually get experience and level up, and they can all go their own paths, and there's different classes you can kind of turn them into and so on and so forth. Whereas like Ezri are built hardy, enduring with a natural aptitude for battle, they develop powerful techniques for close combat. Let's see here. Start fire, switch action every other turn. Ezri knocks them out the field away. Taking 1 damage. It deals more damage with the more armor I have. Or I can use my attack to shred armor. Let's go ahead and grab you. And then for the hunters like Julia thrive in the wild, surviving through stealth and peerless archery. They master their surroundings and bring down large quarry. Once per turn, refunded an action point after a melee kill. Or ambush, Julia draws back using range attack on the first enemy who enters the threat tiles, dealing an extra 2 damage. Shot is not sprung. Julia gets a free attack at the beginning of her next turn. Or twice per combat, throw down a trap that will deal 2 damage and pin the first enemy who walks in. I think ambush would be good to have. And since this is accuracy, I think it would go better for a character that uses ranged. Do you see that thing? What could have brought such a change? The creature's death is quiet. It seems to slip from life in a few stunned, hazy blinks. They'll spend a piece of the day getting the flames under control. The damage isn't as bad as it could have been. Townsfolk emerge from hiding to fight fires and clear debris. Some full of curiosity, others visibly haunted by what they've seen. We should go. Helmwaen is alone. Oh no, that's going to be a name that's going to come back to haunt me to pronounce constantly. Which isn't necessarily worrying, but just... Anyways, a promise is a promise. Helmwaen? She's at the ruined tower by now. Kind of outsized hike given our late start. Maybe, but a later start won't help. Helmwaen will be waiting for us. What happened today could be happening everywhere, couldn't it? Something about that tower is just stuck in my mind. It's like when you get apple skin in your teeth. I know the sensation you describe. Huh? Yeah. Anyways, I just think we said we'd meet her. We should. The tower in the hills. You've been there? Yeah, once. Actually, looking at the tracks. They come and they go that direction. Esri and Julia follow the pounded path of monstrous feet, hoping for the best and dreading every other possibility. And let's go with rival. Just be breathing, okay? So we can all yell and go home. A wordless while passes between them, but the quiet only heightens their worry. I know you don't exactly get along with Helmwaen these days, Maybe not, no. You know what it is? It's like today while we clean up what I'm going to assume was her mess. I bet that sugar sweeper is up there now. Without a care in the world. And so now they introduce how you kind of do stuff in the overworld, so everything's all tile-based and you can move from place to place, scouting locations, and eventually you'll kind of come into contact with monsters and random events and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and try to find Helmwaen. The previous night, the tower where Helmwaen had arranged to meet Esri and Julia is a place she often used to escape to as a girl. She knows its rooms and floors so well. She could survive being chased through them. And now I wait, I suppose. Dusk gets deep as rain puddles in here. Alive is alive until that beast breaks through. Don't you know, beast? I'm not good eating anyway. The tower is an heirloom of an earlier people. The locals have lost the legend of it. Now it's little more than a strange nest for spiders, owls, and trysting lovers. But as the old will tell you, precious things go overlooked in a ruin. What lodges amid the bones of failure is often the dream that drove it. That book, Why Have I Never... Easy there. I guess you're wondering why I'm talking to myself, huh, beast? I'm also wondering. Helmwaen bends to pull it loose. The book's heavier than its slender spine suggests. Wildermyth, tidal drop, boom. Look at all this. It's full of strange stories, the folklore of folk long forgotten. The tyrant's medicine imparts no salient secret. It's only a fairy tale about a dying empress. She swallows stars every month to calm her cancerous anger. Gift of the inscriptor? Proposes an unlikely legend that one spider-limbed man crafted all written language. He trapped ants between vellum and pressed them so long and relentlessly that they became letters. The Hamlobrad magician says a magician was born who banged solid rings together so stubbornly that they joined. By this method, he connected all the stories ever told. Helmwaen reaches the last word of the final tall tale. A few blank pages are left. This book. Something in her feels like it's coming loose, but she can't tell exactly what. There's room in it for another story. It's cold. I'm stuck here. Right, then this is the beginning. Here in our yondering country. Helmwaen writes words already. Omens have formed in the fabric of everything, and she's beginning to recognize them now. Some are just misgivings. They've crept through her body like a sourceless ache one wakes with. Others are more substantial. Now they seem lightning plain, a promise of thunder. For in the wild black woods there, where birds once belled, a hateful silence churns. Pain lights Helmwaen's head. Subsides. I made it to morning? She lowers her bleary eyes. Her story lays before her in luminous script. Empty pages have sprouted behind it. Why do I feel powerful? And I just like the idea of using a spoon as a wand, so she pulls the spoon from her pocket. Also, why is she carrying just a wooden spoon? Who knows? Open wide, beast, I'm getting out of here. Rager. It charges without seeing, misshapen tusks swinging wildly. And so now we get introduced to our mage class, who can interact with all sorts of objects and stuff like that to also have them attack and help, which is a really cool system for magic. Instead of just only normal spells, you can get all sorts of different effects by using whatever objects in your environment. So we can do something like this, and it gives you a little bit of, description of what it can actually do for you before you interfuse. So it's nice. You don't have to actively remember everything beforehand. You can just kind of do it. So do that, and there you go. Ooh. Not dying in the tutorial so far. Let's see here. And obviously there's like the mystic abilities. As a mystic, Helmwaen has acquired the knack for interfusing her spirit with earthly things, drawing on these bonds to enact formidable magics. And so all of this is, let's see. So we can get more interfusions that tend to do either more damage or be more potent. Let's see. Helmwaen briefly interfuses with an enemy and forces it to move where she pleases. Ooh, that's kind of pleases. That's kind of cool. Humanist applies poison to enemies who step next to it. Metal is going to get shackles. It's also the fun thing because it's been a little bit since I've played any of this, so now I don't know for sure what is good or not. But let's see. Let's go and go with Humanist. And we'll go ahead and equip that. Can't ever go wrong with a little extra speed. More monsters roam the ruined halls and rattle the rotting furniture. But Helmwaen moves quietly, sensing her way in the dark. Daylight lands on her wrist, cool wind soothes her tired eyes. Did I make it? I did, didn't I? She closes the tower door, gentle, to make no noise. That was the mystic's art that I did, right, tower? Where did I get it from? Could it have just happened? Is it just one of those things? Things a woman's born with that might blossom in her life when she needs them? I suppose, wherever it's from, all I can do is have gratitude and use it wisely. Helmwaen? I don't suppose I can get folks to call me a wizard. Helmwaen, you bunkhead. Hey, Helmwaen, something happened? Esri, yes, sorry. Julia's voice just bounces off my ears sometimes. Esri and I only barely made it. Yeah. See that smoke from the horizon? That's from the town. Yeah, that's home. Helmwaen. It burns? Things are different than they were. Yeah, well, I don't know if you've ever seen something quite like this. A monster? Sure we have. We slay monsters. Well, I'm a wizard. Just a nice little abrupt cutoff of just, hey, by the way. And so after you scout a place, you can see that now we can actually do assaults and stuff like that. So let's see. Now we get to go into our first battle with everyone together. I feel like I do belong in the front, and I'm sure no one will mind the view. Wow, very modest. Perfect understanding isn't likely to emerge. What these beasts are, where they came from, and what drove them to attack the town of Helmwaen. But letting them nest here feels like the wrong idea. What, I'm not wrong, am I? Anyway, a plan? Do we have one? Back at my house, it was pretty simple. Kill the beast before it kills you. I just came out of there. If we're methodical, patient, we can fend them off, at least. Yeah, let's go courage. So courage is what gives us our modifiers for combat and stuff like that, so we'll get 3 turns of just being able to deal extra damage. Raccoon, something new. Scrambling through shadows, its barbed appendages eagerly twitch. And there you go, now it just explains to us everyone's got 2 action points, different abilities of different costs. So single action, red diamond, and its turn requires 1 point, and Zero's turn. Single one just costs 1 actual point. And then the feather, it's free once per turn. After swift action use, that swift actions become single actions. And the free action costs no action points. The action points, if you select a hero shown in the top left, you need to hide the top display from the options interface. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and choose Esri, move ourselves up, and we're going to open up the door. First things first, we're just gonna Guardian there, that way we're not just running haphazardly into stuff. And so we can actually go ahead and constrict, do that. And so I'll put you right together with you. And we can't do anything, but we can have ambush prepared. Ah, okay. There we go. Deal a little bit of extra damage. And I believe the red arrow is what gives us a clue as to whether or not we can actually hit it from where we move. There you go. And so like I said, depending upon how they contribute and stuff like that, how many monsters or whatnot we're fighting, it'll just distribute experience. And let's see here. Yeah, this is just a straight up grade to what we got, so let's go ahead. And then... yeah, I think some throwing knives could be good to throw onto here. That's the thing, it's interesting that claiming gear happens to be permanent, but you know, it just forces you a little bit more to think about what you're doing and going from there. The last misshapen creature folds its bones and dies. Blue fluids darken the dust. Just blood, I suppose. Corrupted blood? Corrupted is a heady word. Hey, look at us. Look at what we did. Yeah? Day drops, day rises, dusk is sweet, the sunrise sweeter. It's not long before they've cleaned the old tower up a bit. I always liked its weird stairs and stones, and it did save me. I always knew this morning would rise when I'd gaze into the sky and see a destiny for myself, a destiny to inspire song. Let's not wait to be overrun. We're a company of heroes now. We'll lock the land, we'll fight. People need us. We'll give ourselves a name and make sure it's one they'll sing. Sound like you've thought about this. Name the company. We'll be the Brotherhood of the Blazing Angel. How about the Acolytes of the Net? Or maybe the Enchantress Brotherhood. Or my own name. But I am awful at coming up with names, so... You know what? I think it's nice and edgy. We're going to be the Brotherhood of the Blazing Angel. After that, the three of them are inseparable. Rumors are rampant, heroes are needed. This world is flooded in sorrows. Oh, the world will be flooded in sorrows, but its defenders are joined by a fire that night. Here follow the tales of the Brotherhood of the Blazing Angel. Be remembered. Here we go. So calamities, like I said, they're going to start introducing more upgrades and stuff like that. Your enemies improve their strategies after every fight. So new cards add to the Gorgon deck. The deck is more dangerous now. Rager 1. Looks like those Gorgons are going to be throwing even more of a rager now. But so, legacy points, we get legacy points by just doing different things, and we can use them to recruit heroes, build stations, cancel calamities. So once it's either under control, you can spend some time to secure it. And then this will what will provide us resources, and we can craft gear at a town or between chapters. So yeah, let's go ahead and claim this place. I just don't like lingering here, alright? These places age you. Secure Cool Hearth Rest. This site can provide resources now and at the end of the chapter. Spend resources to upgrade hero weapons armor. Since we've got plenty of time, I don't feel like we're in a rush. We're just going to go ahead and take our time to do this. Ooh. A thorough delving through the mysteries of Cool Hearth Rest has proven rewarding. Not exactly the most gripping part of the story, though. Cool Hearth Rest will return to the hands of the common folk. While they tend it, the site will provide resources at the end of each chapter. And so we got hides and got spell threads. And we got a ring that'll give us some extra armor, and I feel like our warrior should have the armor. There you go. And so we need to make our way over here, but in the process we can scout the tiles. And it's cool because it's like depending upon your party, they can actually make tasks like this take more or less time. On the furthest outreaches of Lifona, I don't know, Lifona Plains. I'll just do one last sweep over the next ridge there and call it good. I think we've seen just about everything there is to see in this area. Halt, who goes there? Who goes there? I'm armed. Show yourself. Show yourself. Self? Gasp. What the blazes? Just a mimic. That's not funny. Stop it. Who are you? What are you? Who am I? I'm Helmwaen. But I'm Helmwaen. I'm Helmwaen, tall of Hamlabrad. No, I'm Helmwaen, tall of Hamlabrad. You're some sort of changeling. I remember my parents had broke my leg when I was 7. It was an okay life. I had the smooth pebble that I thought made me invincible. But that was my magic pebble. How could you know about that? What are you doing here? I was on patrol, just one last sweep. I was about to call it good. You have my memories, you know my thoughts. It's like there are 2 of me. If you're really me, then maybe we can talk this out. I need to get away from this thing now, or I need to destroy it. Let's go with, talking it out. You can solve a lot of problems. Okay, then Helmwaen of Hamlabrad. Let's take this nice and easy, huh? See, I'm putting my weapons away. Your weapons? But those are my weapons. How did you get my weapons? They're our weapons, I suppose. You are me, or I'm you. Maybe both. We don't just look the same, we have the same memories. I remember my parents, too. Breaking my leg, the magic pebble. I knew an old soldier once crazy with a wooden leg. What was his name? Old Trya? Ha! Her name was Old Trya. Nice try, but I don't think you can trick me. You have my memories, you know my thoughts. It's like there are 2 of me. Yeah, I just love getting the same option again of just, if you're me, then maybe we can talk this out. Okay, Elmarina, let's be friends. My thoughts exactly. I guess that shouldn't surprise me. So, now there's 2 of us. What do we do about it? I don't know. I'm not sure we can go back to the others. Good point. That might get a little confusing. Ha, can you imagine Julia? She would go completely nuts if there were 2 of us. You know what I've secretly always wanted to do? Of course I do. Start a sanctuary, a place of healing and succor for the sick, the injured, and the displaced. But I can't leave the company. I'm needed here. But with 2 of us, one of us could stay with the group, while the other dedicates herself to helping those in need. It's perfect. But who does which? Draw lots? And so, there you go, Helmwaen. We were getting worried. Yeah, we thought you might have gotten lost. Quite the contrary. I think you could say I found myself. And then, might bring some wealth to this poor region. We should help it as we can. And let's see here. I think one of both will be a good idea. So let's go. We'll do that. Infused tiles are unsafe. Infestations increase the strength of the source threat can ambush groups of 2 or 1 heroes, and over time will spread and turn into an incursion. You can clear infestations by taking out the source or by sending a group of heroes to patrol on the tile. But let's go ahead and finish this up. So Proudblock Outfitter produces hides and fabrics. And let's see here. We'll go ahead and move on to our next one. I was like, because even though it's a tutorial, it's still nice to have just some of the resources. So Longspruce Timbers has been revealed, and there's Gorgons infesting the tiles, so... And as you can see now, it's actually got the little overlay. But let's go ahead and assault here. Flickerings. Might get some more wood for the fire. You're going to be up longer? Helmwaen's already turning in. Good, she deserves the rest. We all do. Anyway, what company? Don't feel obliged. The fire and I have plenty to discuss. More wood. Oh, thanks. The fire wriggles through the fresh wood, happy as a mud dog. Ezri's eyes grow tired. She begins to see things. Flickerings of Gorgon thought are flickerings from young quarry. I don't know what it means, but sure. Gorgon thought. The Gorgon might love fire were it not against its nature. Gorgons and flame tongues might have quite a bit to say to each other. They'd sing of spreading over landscapes, nibbling at fleeing feet. Nature's only got a few patterns, they say. Pick them out and you start to see them everywhere. Ezri suddenly realizes she has no idea how much time has passed. Gorgon's on the brain tonight. And rightly so, it turns out. Snapping branches and wet grunts blow in through the pines. Gulia and Helmwaen. Very eyes strained to see beyond the dying light. There we go. So now... I also like it because it's like they've got different colorations and patterns and stuff like that. So looks like we've got 4 enemies coming to fight us. We got one of you over here, so gonna interfuse. And it's cool because some of the attacks are, you know, AoE, so if you got a bunch of enemies stacked up, make your life just a little bit nicer. So that'll use up that. Let's move over here. We're gonna shoot at you. And I think for right now we're just gonna move in front of you, and that way we can focus on blocking damage. And there you go. And for right now, let's go ahead and attack you with you. So that is one down. I'm assuming the rest are probably going to be out this direction somewhere. So let's go ahead and just do that. We're going to wait with you. Move over here and wait with you. Or actually, no. Yeah, we'll ambush over here. And okay. So I guessed wrong, but let's see. I'm gonna move over here with you. And hit you with a prepared shot. And we can shoot again. Gosh, link an enemy with attack 90 degrees more from the previous. So if I come over here, and I'm guaranteed to hit because of that flank. There you go. And even though it doesn't deal too much damage, it's still something. And let's go ahead and pull up Guardian. Now, of course, somebody wants to come from that direction. Okay. It's the only thing that sucks about having such a short range is a lot of the times it takes a little bit to actually get over. And let's see. So let's interfuse you. Then we can hit you with the discus, hopefully. So it dealt some good damage there. We're gonna move over here. And we're gonna do this, Guardian. Okay. Kind of what I figured, but we'll move you over here. Let's interfuse you. And then does not reach over there. Okay. We'll come back over here and hopefully stop it from just kind of moving that way. Since we can't do that, maybe that will reach. Probably help if I checked out the range of things, but okay, please don't. This is also why I'm some of the worst at these types of games, because I am too aggressive and I'm like, it's fine, even though there's, you know, permadeath and stuff like that. And do I want to give her more armor, or you know, this I think we can salvage. The last of the orange light sinks into its embers. Ez remembers her earlier reveries and tucks them away. The next day, they scour young quarry, scraped up but empty. Maybe they all smelled us last night and came running. It was a long march yesterday. Anyway, a lot of work to be done. Ooh, the monster is now stronger. Great. Just what I need. We'll travel here. And we'll take our time to hopefully find an item, and also hopefully let Esri heal a little, because she is not doing great. The last thing I want to do is on tutorial, you know, kill one of my characters. Which wouldn't be the first time, but a thorough delving through the mysteries of young quarry has proven rewarding. Not exactly the most gripping part of the story, though. Yeah. So I'll get us some more of those. And let's see here. Who would do well with some speed? Genuinely, Esri I think would help. Or having speed for Esri would be useful. Because if I can close the gap a little bit better, then I'm not going to be stuck dying. Because I can't get there close enough. Or fast enough, I should say. So start healing up a little bit on the way. And we'll be fine to attack, I'm pretty sure. If not, again, this is where I guess hubris kind of bites me, because I'll just walk on over and push stuff that I don't need to. Old form cavern stretched beneath Wara's lookout. Julia, don't fall in a random crack. Or do, I'd say. Only their back-barking echoes answer them. Wait, where's Julia? Don't tell me she's wandered off. I don't know. I could certainly imagine it. Anything can catch that woman's eye. They scour their steps for the last sign of Julia. Oh, hey, an off-branching path. This is neat. This is probably where she went. An almost triangular crevice, and beyond is a tight, twisting tunnel. Below them, in the coldening ground, in the fungal glow. And it's not as if I can entirely be blamed. You're going too fast for all the things I wanted to look at. I'm not reckless is the point. I'm studious. Under blade-sharp stones, a wider space, a firmer shrine. There's a powerful smell, a heart smell, the heart of the mountain. And, at first glance, she thinks a massive gray man is hunched over a blue-white flame. But she realizes, by any gods at all. What is this? Solemn rock cut and graven. An artifact of the cavern religious. I'd say you are, of course. I'd listen if you wanted to correct me. You hunching over your jewel that way. It makes me wonder what it's like to cradle a star. Blame my inquisitive mind, I guess, or, well, let's not upset the gods of unknown temper. So one of my favorite things is there's, you know what? Yeah, let's try to pry it out and see what happens. Note that the attempt I'm making to be gentle. You don't know me, but I don't deface things unnecessarily. Julia wiggles her gut knife into the seam in between the gen and setting. And only after a moment she does so, an indistinct tremble travels up the blade. You're generating that buzz? Harmonic vibrations, they swell. They sing in the joints of her skeleton. Julia bends near, lowers her knife. I don't see any damn... A thunderclap, a luminous flood. A wet, bloody odor, and the sulfurous scent of fresh split rock. Time seems to pause and the world fills in with white. And then fades into normal motion, color. Ow. What'd you just do? Julia? There was a brilliant gemstone I found here. I felt almost compelled to claim it. I tried, and now the specimen has simply vanished. Folks always warn me, your desires will change you. Oh, what? Repeat that? Reach up, your eye. Doesn't that hurt? A short while later, it can at least see, I can see, through it, facets of things that shouldn't have facets. They'll emerge in daylight and encounter the enemy they'd sought, and Julia will look at things differently from then on. And so that kind of introduces the fact that you get access to transformations and the sort, so those will play into future stories and change how your character grows and progresses and stuff like that, which I think is a really cool just touch. So we got 2 raccoons and 2 rows. We're gonna just move first with you. I also could do a better job of going into Silk Step, and we'll do that to get a little bit closer. Let's see. So we got 2 enemies over here. Let's fall back this way, just in case. Because I don't want to take any unnecessary damage if I can help it. We'll go ahead and infuse you, and I don't think it'll... no. Can't reach over there, but we'll have it ready for next turn, and we'll wait. And luckily the row's got some good movement, but I'm assuming it's got to be melee in order to attack. Okay, cool. So we'll do that and hope that it... Nice. Dealt some good damage there. And I think I'll move over here to hit you. And I think it'll be a good idea to try and kill that first. Which does take us out of hiding. Took a little bit of damage, but at least that's not too bad. And let's see if we can get lucky and have that hit. Cool. So do that for you. We'll move out of the way over here. 100% chance to shoot. Let's go. And we'll come around to... Nice. There you go. Minimal damage. That one was a lot better than the last encounter. And we got to level up with Esri. So she ends her turn by moving. She'll automatically enter Guardian, which is kind of nice to have. As a swift action, you can enable or disable Stalwart, which increases armor and warding, but reduces speed by half. We can engage, forcing it to attack. As we must stay in range and maintain a clear line of sight, but +1 on armor per engaged foe. Or we can upgrade Shield Shear, which removes the cooldown. Let's go ahead. Let's do Paladin. And that lowers our speed but gives us a lot more armor. Which we did give her that bonus, so we're kind of back to normal speed, which, you know what, we'll take it. Because I would rather have a lot more armor and feel safer than not. And let's see here. So Julia is our hunter. So it might be nice to have her do some bonus damage. With battle done, they stand still a moment, warmed over by the rays of a lowering sun. The gem casts a tickle of light on Julia's thoughts. Sorry, you may not like it, but I think it's an improvement. What a thing to say. You can still fight. You can see and see well. I see the edges and faces of things like I never saw before. It's weird. It does give you a certain allure. I have a lot to figure out. I have the entire world to sort of look at through a new lens. My worry is oddly something I feel. That perhaps it'll travel to my heart, under my ribs someday. You'll find only a cold, glittering, impervious jewel. Whether it was wrath or reward, a trap or a twist of coincidence, will always be hard to tell. Years will show how deep the changes go. And an ancient god will dream in darkness, fresh dreams of new visions above the earth. So we can't cancel this, but Gorgon... So the Gorgon deck is getting Roe added in for extra armor, and it's now stronger, so +1. Cool, so now it does extra damage and has extra armor, but at the very least we can come here. Done. And we'll start healing up while we do this. Hopefully everyone, cool, back to full. And so, obviously, as you take more time, it'll start actually adding them in bulk to the deck, which we can use our legacy points to cancel, or we can just try to, you know, deal with it. Which we haven't had to use our legacy points on anything currently, so let's get rid of you and you. Let's get rid of those, and then that way we're at least only facing one enemy type, and we'll go ahead and continue with this. So we got hides and got spell threads, and we found something to give us some more armor, which, why not? We'll make Esri very bulky if we can, and we'll travel to our next destination. And revealed, and oh. You're gonna make me come all the way back down here, huh? Okay. I totally missed these two tiles at the beginning, so That is entirely on me. And if we want, we can actually go get another party member, which, sure, why not? It's like we're taking our time anyways, and hell yeah. Jillan? 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 I don't know. Goofish hothead, new recruit. We'll go and recruit you. You're back? I saw you leave a while ago. I did, but the yondering lands are vast. The enemy is tangled and tight. And another soul to stand against the darkness may make this feel more heroic and less crazy. Are you interested? Well shoot, if you didn't ask, I was just about to go off and break some Gorgon bones of my own. Good thing I caught you then. Right? Would have been awkward to be out here by the guy you left behind. So you're in? I am. What sort of skills do you need the most? Let's add in another hunter. I always like having more ranged units. And so we just got to do this to prepare them. And we got an opportunity. Shells are all familiar to Julia Leather Tavern. Whether she has time to find them. Or wherever she has time to find them. Books are old friends. They know her touch and the timbre of her sighs, the clomp of her pacing, ply of her fingers. Digging up this library walled away inside a ruin, there was no question where she would spend the winter. Unfortunately, she's fallen into a rut of reading she can't climb out of. More of the same. There's those piercing green eyes again, and of course, her coy smile. Always her auburn hair, her piercing green eyes. Hey Julia, you'll want to see this. Another grizzled veteran showed up? Seriously? For once, can we have a veteran that's not grizzled? Oh, Helmwaen, I was reading. I'll take your word for it. What are you doing here, looking for something fresh and original? Prepare to be disappointed. Julia reshelves the offending novel. I'm looking for you. Oh, me? Well, prepared to be disappointed. Anyway, look, I was nosing around in here the other day, and look what I found. Saving the little book from a damaging fall, she glares at Helmwaen and then opens to the marked pages. Huh? This is just a map? To the Library of Light? It's fake. It must be. Even I know it's just a story. Are you really this stubborn? We're talking about your dream, aren't we? Well, I guess we shouldn't rule it out. I'll get my gear. Or I don't know, well, let me finish the Swords of War first, and of course the sequels. How many are there? Like 16? We're gonna go for it. So Julia and Helmwaen arrived. Old pen shop Sin, a wise woman who lived in Skyborough, told me this. Every worthy legend has 100 good variations. According to most tellings, the Library of Light was mortared together with magic, built from bricks cut off the moon. Most say the Emberworld sorceress Melina Boag brought the library into being. Some storytellers have it that a great many mystics helped her, and she promptly chained them all to a volcano afterwards and sent them into space. And that is now the comet Amistus? Amistida? Words are hard sometimes. One version has her using her own life to complete the casting. Yuck. That one's gross. There's the one where she visits the spirit realm. I don't remember why. I don't think anything happens. Maybe she just wanted to visit? The consensus is that she was a seeker of wisdom, someone who saw knowledge itself as the greatest treasure's highest goal. The stories have always been like starlight, scattered and small and uncertain. But bound with this magnetic gram that draws the fragments together, becomes this single childish hope, this enduring, embarrassing sense of, what if? Can you imagine it? A limitless and ever-growing trove of books, every volume that's ever been written, every scroll, every epic. They'll arrive the next day. How should they spend the night? Fire and conversation or passive stargazing? You know what? Let's have some conversation. Why not? The fire is high and their differences seem tonight like strengths. The night gives them courage. But the next morning they'll reach their goal and find it guarded. Ooh, but we got some courage going on. And looks like we've only got one tough boy to fight. So we'll interfuse. Yeah. Well, at least that dealt some good damage. We'll go ahead and do this, and let's see here. Luckily, it doesn't really have any range stuff, so we'll come over here and do ourselves a guard. There we go, that's what I'm talking about, some nice damage, and nice and easy victory, I will take it. There we go. So let's see here. We've got ourselves a dueling sword. So okay. Oh, I was trying to figure out what it was saying there, but it could be nice just to have as a secondary. So we'll do that, and we'll keep it as a slim splinter. That's 2 times healing your life, Julia. Got it. I'll mark on this stone. That way you can come back here and count it whenever you like. That's not what I meant. Oh. What? Me? Milena Bog rather famously recorded that there were 2 ways a traveler would be able to locate her library. There's her saying, ever a north-pointing compass tells you its own truth, ever a stranger tells you hers, and an enemy someone else's. But ever a good friend lies. Right, good, so the standard gibberish. What's the second way? Just how big it is. The interior of the library is a symphony of sunlight playing for a frozen ballet of crammed shelves. Look at the carvings on the wood, every space is crowded with volumes. I can see why this place called you. This is what dreams look like. Could you even dream this? The library was a dream. That's how it began. Why I studied magic all my life? Same as every magician. I wanted to make my dreams real. I didn't understand then. When dreams come true, you become more clutching, not less. You fear sleeping because you fear waking up. The library was a dream, and that's what it must remain. Those who leave it will never find their way back. Many days later, Julia? We need to leave, Helmwaen. Don't be stubborn, you old... Oh. Something I realized, I guess. I'm not sure when. A long time ago, maybe. Grand times I've spent with books. Times I was alone with a novel in a window in a rainstorm. I'm glad we came here. Glad we found it. Saw it all. I've always been afraid to write my own stories. Afraid they'd end up nowhere and matter to no one. But I think that could be the next dream for me. Julia, what if you can't go back? In stories, isn't that the rule? That you can only visit it once? You know, I've been reading since I was small, books by heroes and half-crazies, fiction of all kind and quality. What I'm thinking now is, it's time to start putting life into my own words. I love the writing in this game because there's just a lot of really good, like, you know, flow to the words and a lot of just kind of, you know, poetry-esque vibes. I like it a lot, and it does a good job of just giving you more to think about. So we have leveled up as a hunter. We get 10 more to our retirement age, which is something else that'll pop up here in a little bit. So let's see here. When standing by fire, Julia's bow attacks at +1 damage, +1 shred, and start fires. Fire can't spread onto her. And so our potency is what adds extra damage to that. Let's see here. Once per combat, we get +1 action point, and action only costs 1 action point this turn. I think having the pierce is probably going to be our best. And so we got an achievement for having the, oh yeah, watch this 5 times in a fight. So as you fight together, your characters will actually start, they kind of like bounce off of each other, if that makes sense. So you can do like more damage or have combos and stuff like that. And so now we've got Sir Gillen Middling. Let's see here. What do we want for him? So we can do once per combat. We can blind. Let's try the traps out. And then we'll come over here and clear out this site. And you know what? We'll go and take out those two. That way it's still only Gorgon. Only the Gorgon deck that's expanding. And I think that's what I also like too, is that there's a couple different factions that are enemies and they all build up in their own way, and then eventually, you know, you can have multiple types of enemies and stuff like that. And it also affects like the campaign that you're playing and stuff like that too. Our stars climb high tonight. Oh, are those ones ours? Always climbing around our little stars. It's a good omen. Yeah? What's it an omen of? I can't really tell you what they mean specifically. I also think maybe listening is the point. Quietening yourself enough to hear the voice of existence. Only omen I'm listening to is my growling gut. Reminds me of, can I still remember the story? Is this your sign, my guardians, my guides? Maybe I do wonder, does she see something I don't? So obviously we've got like little percent chances, so I'm gonna go for the higher one and hope. A moment or two as just gathers her thoughts. Then, the wandering man once taught me a tale and told me it would please the stars, for it belonged to them. It was before amalgamation. Things weren't holy things. Our phantoms freely danced on the glass floor of space while our hearts pumped moonlight until it turned into salt. She speaks beauty worth believing and her eye is wet with truth. Esri begins to spin a yarn. It's a tale of a starman who frolicked with shadowy queens and ice-crowned kings across 10,000 planets. He beguiled the astral dragon Lothrenker. Yes, and hopefully he balanced the odd-sided entirety of creation on the back of a migrant dust bear. With each revelation, the stars seem to grow and glister. Sweltering, they swim together to shape a gownless man, and he strides and twirls through the cosmos. At the tale's end, as if to call his deeds well counted, the figure bows low, and a stone of his diamond-strung hair falls to earth, a gem whose clear core is a captured star flame. Is it real? It's warm. Esri has earned the favor of the stars. Woo! So all heroes get +2 temporary hit points. And now we're fighting some different types of enemies. So you got Dweavers, its head weaves in odd patterns, eyes shine like moons. Hissing, suddenly, it looms to strike. And Thrusk. Clambering and clattering, it cries out in a doubled voice. And see, I will gladly take some sort of... Yeah, we'll do that because we can... There you go. Do that. Always love when my guys hit their shots. Makes life a lot easier. So hit you and hopefully do some good damage, and so it does have a 2. I forget, we gave her that? Yeah, okay. That way. There you go, just what I was hoping for. And now, we'll move up a little bit with you. Interfuse you. So we've got constrict, and so we'll go ahead and You know what? Let's go ahead and try and constrict you. Move up a little bit. It doesn't look like we've got the ability to do anything, but we'll go ahead and Silk Step with you. This will give us the option to do this. And hopefully, nope. We'll move like this and we'll try to do the same type of thing. Of course, I guess I didn't really plan for it to just run right through, but let's see. Oh, all right. Let's do that then. Okay, cool. So we got you taken care of, and we'll hopefully give you a little bit more defense. We'll interfuse that. Deal just a little bit of damage. Shred some of the armor, and now, as long as we hit, cool. And we're getting close to getting some level ups for the other two. Ooh, finally, cool. Better Great Spear, which I will take. Yep, there you go. Ooh, let's give it to... We'll take true damage at the start of their turns, usable transformation as a swift action. Yeah, I think that's going to be good for someone with... Okay. Then maybe it would be good if we ever decide to use our secondary. Okay. We'll do that and hopefully knock this one out. Make it maybe a little bit easier so that way I can hopefully not get too outpaced by the deck that the enemies are building up right now. Here's a thought. Maybe Kanana Tannery isn't as dangerous as we believed. Yep. That's me. That's my self-insert character, is just showing up and immediately the bad luck of falling through something when everyone's like, ah, it's fine. Huh? Where'd Jillian? Down here. Jillian's step has broken the hidden covering of a hunting pit, and he's fallen scuffing and scraping into a dark, rocky hole. How far down are you? Oh, far enough. Am I really such a clod bungling around? Infuriating. We're close to where those things were spotted. If this is a trap, it might be risky to try and get him out. I'm quick. I'll climb down and help him, which only has a 60%. Let's be methodical, safe, tie together a rope or something. Or maybe we'll leave him down there to act as bait. You know what? You can be bait, that's fine. Explain? What? Hello? Did they... Dark shapes have gathered around the hole. Now! Intimidation, suffer 2 damage to start mission, and... Ooh, if we're flanking, we get extra damage. Cool. Ooh, and we got a couple different big guys. So we got a Geist. Shuffling shoulders scrape like stones. Gory stench rises off its matted fur. We got a Bogmore heaving its overgrown body in musky flops. Its grasping mouth drips and stinks. Also, so spirits are pretty cool because if we can catch it in time, it'll actually give us the ability to upgrade our weapons with an element, and it unlocks, you know, new weapons to get in the future as well. However, I want to focus more on this. So we'll move here. And we don't actually have to worry about armor with you, so do that. And with any luck, cool. That's 1 down, 3 to go. Luckily we didn't have to deal with the corruption getting us, because it deals 1 magic damage when walking through and slows our movement. So obviously we want to just avoid it if we can. And we'll discus you. And by that I mean completely miss. But they missed too, so we're doing okay. And yeah, the spirits are also kind of annoying to try and get to, because it's you want to fight through things and, you know, move quick enough to catch it, but also you don't want to just put yourself in a vulnerable position for, you know, an upgrade. There we go. And then we'll move forward with you. Stand right next to the door and then click the door. There we go. So do that, we'll be guarding against foes. And let's go and open this door. And you know what? We'll go ahead and move with you. And you know what? Now that we've cut you, let's make this a water great spear. So, a well-made great spear imbued with the quick surging spirit of water. Stunt effect refunds an action point. Cool. So, yeah, we'll do that to replace our current weapon. And now we've got a chance to recover action points after attacking. Let's move up with you. Move up with you. And we'll go ahead and interfuse this. And we'll move back here. And I think this is a good opportunity to vanish. Ooh, Jillen's finally decided to show up. Forgetting it's not really his fault. He was kind of in a trap, but let's see. Come back over here. Do this, and there you go. Deal some good damage there. Sorry, only one left. But you know what? Go ahead and shackle you there. Hopefully stop you from getting close. Oh, alright. So here's what happens when characters end up losing all of their health in a battle. The hit is worse than Helmwaen had braced for. She struggles to stay up. Ugh, I've let them down. Everything goes slow and dim. So we can either choose to have her die and do some sort of sacrifice, or we can keep her, however she will have 2 less health going on in the future. And it says for the remainder of this game, so I believe there's a whole like legacy system of bringing characters back and whatnot, so let's do that. That way, you know, she doesn't fully disappear. Another day, perhaps I can be patient. Not broken, but perhaps a bit sent. Helmwaen slips away. And so now, I was like, and obviously she'll have some sort of lasting health effects and stuff like that too, but cool. So got that taken care of, and it's crazy that it just went directly for that character instead of, you know, the one that was standing right next to it dealing a ton of damage, but that's just my luck. Especially when it could have just been one attack and we would have been fine. Ooh, romance. And so obviously that'll affect a lot of how they interact in the future and stuff like that. And so let's see here. Um, You know what? Let's just upgrade this. So those shred through one armor. Ooh, okay, so we can start shredding armor with our attacks. Or we can automatically go into that. Julia gets bonus to all campaign level tasks based on age. Yeah, Rogue is a good one. It'd be good to have a good thing like that. And it's not really worth keeping because everyone else uses completely different weapons, so we'll just salvage. Helmwaen, you in there? Okay, listen. I know I tend to irritate you, trust me, it's mutual. But what happened out there, it was pretty intense. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm glad you're not dead. Just snoring. Oh, good thing she didn't actually hear that. Okay. So in Heroes Main, they travel to the nearest safe town to rest until they're ready to fight again. Heroes can be mained once per chapter. They fall a second time, they will die. So the real question is... Okay, so you're hanging out here. Let's just go ahead and... gather everyone over here. Incursions, so incursions gain number move to your attack your lands, driving peaceful folk before them, leveling homes out places. Enemies will travel from tile to tile, attacking and destroying sites until they're defeated by heroes in combat or repelled by defenses you've built. Their numbers will wear down when incursion size reaches 0, the enemy will dissipate, and the incursion will be over. So if all towns are destroyed, the game ends. You can fight incursions by getting heroes that say they're attacking. If you instead let incursion run course, rune sites can be rebuilt. So for right now, we need to... So we'll have everyone heal up, and then we'll go ahead and assault over here. None of us knew what had changed the beasts who roamed our wilds. We knew something lived inside them. Blue, burning hate that frenzied them, then left them still. A stone sentence, worse and more deadly than any venom. Today, we would finally find out where it came from and why it wouldn't stop. Well, Hyunmei still looks mostly intact. But we should still stay ready. Julia, anything? Huh? No, I'm just following you. Personally, I'm hoping for a few of them gingrel deer things. I just find them endearing. Why? Their approach to the town of Hyunmei is completely silent. Okay. Let's see if we can do this without getting our characters killed. Go ahead and soak step you. Move you over here. And then soak step you. Because them being hidden would be good. And so right now we're just exploring the town. Because I don't think anything will attack quite yet. Let's see here. Come over here with you. Still market. As horrific as it is fascinating, what could do this? Unforgivable, and how many more are there? There's tracks, they go up to that barn door. I wonder if there's more stone people in there? Whatever did this could still be inside. Alright, and we've got 4 enemies. Alright. Move you. And move you. Just go ahead and interfuse. Let's interfuse that, because I'm assuming they'll probably come out of here. Say we'll throw you there. And move you over here. We'll wait with you right quick. We'll set up ambush. Oh, no. We'll set up ambush there. And do that. And that. Oh, nope. Somehow there's something behind us. Love that. But we at least got that taken care of. So that's one down, just 3 to go. Splinter Blast won't reach out here. You know what? We'll set it up here because there's a good chance that it'll come over here to attack anyways. We can set you up here and Guardian. And we'll just wait for you and wait with you. Okay, so there's definitely obviously enemy in there. Oh, no, okay. Alright, definitely thought it was going to come closer, but apparently not. So we can come up here. Hit you like that. Hopefully, nope, alright. There we go, cool. Oh, of course. Alright. I'll just ambush this. Hopefully we get some good damage done there. Cool. So, luckily we dodged out of that, and we need to move out of range of that. And can we hit you with this? There we go, cool. So that's the third thing that we've gotten, and so our fourth one is in here, I believe. So we'll do that. Guard against foes. And, you know, we'll Silk Step you. Come over here. I'm thinking, like I said, it'll come out of that door, because I'm... Or not. Do that. Wait for you. Hit ambush here again. And Guardian. Because once it breaks through that door... Yeah, I'm just going to take my time with this, because I would rather not have anyone get hurt if I don't have to. There we go. Especially since that guy deals a good bit of damage. There we go. Shoot you. That was all 4, so now... Just gotta check out the barn. Doo-doo-doo. It's like, now everyone's together, so let's see. So we've got one more thing to fight, and it's the Gorgon itself. Oh, nope, 2 more things. Okay. Let's interfuse. We're gonna ambush that spot there because whatever comes out has to come through here. Oh, all right. Discus. Yeah, let's discus you. Oh, dodged. Okay. I'm gonna set that up there. We're just gonna attack you. There we go. See, now I've already forgotten if I got the upgrade for swapping the... for our Eris to actually shred armor or not. But we'll do this. Guard. You step there. Alright. So we can hit you with the most likely that. Get lucky. No. Take at least a little bit of damage. Move in here. There you go. It's just crazy how much having the ability to pierce through armor will do for you. I need to stop getting just melee weapons. I need stuff for my other guys so they can actually like keep dealing more damage, but we'll go ahead and salvage that. I'll admit, I'm almost just overcome with, how do you describe this thing? How about dead? Nothing is beyond us. I think we've proven that. The hulking carcass steams from its many wounds. Hideous convulsions course along its appendages to the extremities of its body. Then... of course. It would be Jillian that just gets kidnapped by the tentacle of the thing they think is dead. No! The thing's tremendous tail flicks across the bar and it plucks up Jillian like he's a straw doll, his weapons flailing uselessly from his hands as it pulls him in. Jillian, don't panic! A voice leaks from Jillian's mouth. It's a wrong voice, weird and discordant, like someone fretting and plucking a fiddle, who's never picked one up. Still yourselves, bone stacks. This one speaks my words. I can make it die. You are not alike to us, weak lungs and small minds, stacks of splintering bones, thin blood that will so readily betray you. Why fail it? Why flail for your lives, so noisy? It doesn't have to be this way. We'll grant your life for his. You think I flail for life as you do? I am Gorgon. The Master Ulstrix has promised us silence. The voice dissolves into a sound like rain or distant waves. Wriggling grips tighten. A tentacle invades Jillian's ear. Stop! Julia leaps forward, her bow drawn back, an arrow knocked. She looses. Stop, I said. The arrow sinks into the great beast's neck. Jillian falls free of its tendrils. As Helmwaen and Esri rush over to make certain of Gorgon's demise, Julia supports Jillian, helping him stand. You're here, Jillian. You're alright. A strange stony affliction spreads from Jillian's ear. This isn't over. I saw it's mine. This stone was in its claws. Jillian takes the stone from Helmwaen's palm, turning it in front of his eyes, catching slender sunbeams that slice the barn wall. The strange polyhedral stone is slick with Gorgon blood. Epichrist. Each face is graven with an intricate image. The word in Gorgon's head was Epichrist. This town, Hyun Maestel, these petrified people, even this monster, none of it matters. The Epichrist glistens sticky and blue. The Gorgons have a master, Ulstrix, it's called. It's looking for something, some myth or secret. I think the riddle is in this stone. I think we have to find out what Ulstrix wants, and make sure he doesn't get it. Ooh, there goes all of our charisma, but he's a lot more of a loner, and we get 10 more retirement age. So that ends our first chapter, and you'll get to see how this goes. So let's see here. We get all of these resources. We got 11 years of peace. Your victory has undermined the enemy's plans. They've weakened, so at least remove that one card. The Gorgon's mark grew and crusted over the cover to cover one side of Jillian's face. It would be a grim reminder of the encounter that day in the Hyunmei Stell barn. Rumors abound that Helmwaen was a founder of. Rumors abound that Helmwaen has founded a center of healing that has saved hundreds of lives, yet somehow she remained with the Brotherhood of the Blazing Angel the whole time. Business boomed at Young Quarry when Mawson Post built a new tower near its center. Ezri would come for loads of stone and tell the quarrymaster stories from her favorite fights. When Ezri moved into a new cottage, Jillian decided to surprise her with a commissioned tapestry from Jimvir Dreamloom. They had to special order some kind of bright reds and violets, but he knew Ezri's expression would be worth the wait. During the years of peace, transformations. Okay, so like I said earlier with Julia getting that stone in her eye, now she's got a gem arm. So we'll get to see stuff like that, and it kind of sucks because she's not particularly melee built, but we now can do a good chunk of damage if we are in melee range. Which, oh, and I forgot to bring up, but you can actually decline stuff like that if you want to, but it's kind of cool to have something like that, so why not? Why not keep going for it? And then now we can look at our gear upgrades and stuff like that. So all of the stuff that we gathered over that first chapter, we can now spend on making our people a little bit stronger. And so if you don't have anything, you can actually trade legacy points for the missing resources. So I think right now, yeah, let's go ahead and upgrade your armor. And I feel like that's the most of what we're going to do because I did kind of spend all of our resources, but maybe we can at least just double check and see. And you know what? Let's get... So let's see here. So you actually got a tier 1 crossbow out of the upgrade, which is actually kind of nice. And you know what? Let's go... Let's at least get you a little bit of extra damage going on. And we're going to go into the next one. Julia volunteered her free days to deciphering the Epicrest. If this is true, it hasn't always gone smoothly and progress has mostly tripped along. The meanings of the weird stone have remained inscrutable for years. But today, something in her research slides into place. There's history here. And she can now guess where their enemies might be. It explains why we've had a few years of relative peace. Do you see what I mean? Here, imagine you're trying to raise an army. What's the first thing you do? Raise an army? Right, an army, out of just normal folks. I suppose I'd look for an enemy first. People love to have someone to hate. A symbol. You'd want a symbol to rally support, wouldn't you? Especially if your people are ancients and set in their ways. A symbol you'd want... Oh, sorry. So you're saying our Ulstrix, our master of Gorgons, needs this thing? What is it, some kind of divine spear? As a symbol to help convince other Gorgons to follow it? Yes, that's what I believe. And why does it need to do that? Why does it need the spear? Or why does it need the support of others like it? What is Ulstrix? All interesting questions. What I know is what I learned from the stone and our meager archive. I was able to find other records of Epicrest rubbings. That was my first clue. An Epicrest is like an ancient storytelling device, a way for telling time-honored myth, but maybe in a different order or fashion. That's what I think, but anyway, sorry, I'm getting swept up. I checked the story elements here against some of our older legends. You know the tall tale, kind of a poem or a song in some places? Queen of the Seas? No, but get to the point. Our stone tells almost the same story. Almost. And according to our version, the spear was laid to rest in a named cavern. It's on one of our maps. So this gives us an advantage, right? We know where it is. But they've got a pretty big head start, so... I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but Gorgon sightings are picking up again. Now seems like a good time for us to get started. We've all changed, remember? All the havoc those things caused, and we couldn't stop them? But we're ready this time, aren't we? We stand alone in many ways, but we still stand. The shadows deepen, all monster groups will draw an extra monster card in every battle. Alright, so that is the first chapter of the tutorial, which obviously took a good decent bit of time, but I'm going to go ahead and call it there, so we'll save. There you go. Thank you very much for watching, hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, just keep an eye out for when future videos come out. Make sure to leave a like if you like the video, subscribe if you want to know when stuff comes out in the future, and I will see you all in the next one.